into the Champions League next season by losing to a determined and a very ambitious Newcastle United the other day, and so many things in Spain here and there, and the La Liga player of the season team, Real Madrid has 7 to 9 players, while Sevilla has 6, and so many other things. So this and many more will bring it away. And also, there's UFC where our own Kamaru Usman is going to do the nation proud, because one of the fighters that is going to fight very soon is recovering. And the moment he recovers from his injury, obviously, it's going to take on Kamaru Usman and so many others. This and many more will bring you away. We'll take a break. When we come back, hitting on the road with so many sumptuous news that you will appreciate. And I know you want to grab it with so much aplomb. A minute break. I will be back. Like I said earlier, UFC are planning August 20th showdown between Kamaru Usman and British star Leon Edwards if champion recovers from hand injury. Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards has been earmarked for the main event of UFC 278 on August 20th. The British star has been waiting patiently for his shot at the title. And like I said, from Kamaru Usman, we'll take you to another British superstar. This is a British UFC star, Leroy Murphy, who survives another near-death experience after being hit by a car and almost bleeding out as he detailed horrific ordeal. Thank you, my producer, for displaying that on the screen for millions of viewers. With ambulance also taking 45 minutes to arrive. 9 years after he was shot in the face and neck, the 30-year-old from Manchester, nicknamed Miracle, after he survived being shot in the face, has detailed a second near-death experience. Murphy posted an image of himself in hospital with a thick bandage wrapped around his head and wrote, "I can't catch a breath." Another near-death experience yesterday while cycling. An oncoming car turned right without looking and we collided at a great speed. That was what he tweeted, and it's been called the miracle, not miracle man, not just for nothing, but because he has experienced so many near-death experience. And from there also we see in the UFC where one man, Tony Ferguson, is blaming and is angry with almost everybody. He said they've not taken him seriously as he opened on an underlying problem he has with the UFC, and hit out at executives for forgetting that he signed a contract. He said, how can they forget that he has signed a contract, because they are not giving him the fights that he deserves? And he's so angry about the whole development. And as it is right now, the young man is rearing to go, and he's so angry with everyone, all the executives that have got to do with UFC. From there, we'll take you to football, where, as it is right now, Liverpool ensure they'll keep the Premier League title hope alive after C.A.C. Southampton, despite making 9 changes at St. Mary's. With Klopp masterminding a 2-1 and a new look side, Manchester City will be frustrated after the Saints failed to get the job done after going in front early, with Pep Guardiola's men knowing they will be named champions had they beaten the Reds. Instead, the title battle will go to the final day of the season, where City face Aston Villa at home, while Liverpool welcome Wolves to Anfield. The Etihad outfits are currently 1 point ahead of their rivals, but Villa are managed by Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard, who will be desperate to see his old club win the league title. And still sticking with Liverpool, let's tell you that Minamino, the Japanese, seems happy to revel in his court hero status, and Origi has a knack for big goals, but Osler Chamberlain and Gomez need more game time. Our clubs, Ferraris in the garage at Liverpool, heavily content with a beat patrol? That's the question a lot of people are answering. And thank you to my producer displaying the pictures of the guys we're talking about. The Japanese Minamino, who revels in that status of more like an iconic status. Each time he comes from the bench or each time he comes on, he does something good. And that of Origi too, the Belgian, who's on his way to AC Milan in Italy. But what about Osler Chamberlain? He felt leaving Arsenal would provide him the opportunity at Liverpool, but what mistake he made, and this should have been a better time for him to blossom at Arsenal. But he won title at Liverpool, but he's been a big part player. From there, also, we're still sticking with something that got to do with Liverpool and Merseyside. This time, former Spanish manager Rafa Benitez, who insists his Liverpool side can't compare to Jurgen Klopp said as he signed £40 million players for the bench. And Spaniard said all life at Everton, where a player got injured, dropping furniture on himself. The Spaniard, who spent 6 years at Liverpool from 2004 to 2010, claimed his transfer budget was only £20 million, whereas current boss can sign £40 million player and keep them on the bench. And Benitez told Spanish outlets and also C.A.C television in the wide range of interviews that he does not regret joining Everton in an ill-fated 6-month tenure, and says his successor, Frank Lampard, must assume responsibility for their current struggles. He said, people remember my team, but they compare to Liverpool that spent almost more than £100 million every season, and that's even a small thing. And he also spoke about a player signed for £40 million and kept on the bench, which he never did. From there, we'll take you to Manchester, where Manchester United face fight with Real Madrid and PSG to sign the player they call SMS. You want to know the full name? Serhej Milinkovic-Savic. And Lazio have now put £68 million price on his head. After an outstanding season in Serie A, Manchester United are eager to add Serhej Milinkovic-Savic to their ranks this summer, as he has scored 11 goals and registered 11 assists in 36 Serie A matches this season. Good player, good midfielder, not just an enforcer, but who can really press well. And that's the type of players that Manchester United are looking forward to in the next season. And also, still sticking with Manchester United, let's tell you that the sister of Cristiano Ronaldo, the one our Nigerian brothers loves to call Ororo, has fuel speculation over his future by liking a post suggesting he should leave the club this summer. Ronaldo's fairy tale return to Old Trafford has not gone as hoped, with the club failing to qualify for next season's Champions League. Though his individual numbers remain impressive, he has got a frustrated figure at times during what will finish as the club's worst ever Premier League campaign in terms of points on the board. Before we take you, that's Cristiano Ronaldo on the screen there. He had a frustrating season that he doesn't want to remember. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll still giving you more from the ever-glamorous world of sports. I remain your host with the most, Adams Ibrahim. Welcome back to the Sports Update coming to you C.A.C television. I remain your host, Lemos Adams Ibrozano. We'll take you to East London, where Crystal Palace star Cheiku Koyate and Watford Ismail Assar sparked fury by publicly backing Senegalese teammate Idrissa Gueye as a real man for refusing to play in LGBTQ rainbow colors. That's talking about League On. And the midfielder came under fire after he failed to feature in PSG's 4-0 win over Montpellier, where players wore special shirts to show support of the club's bid to tackle homophobia. As you can see on your screen there, that's just what we're talking about. So many things are just not the way we want it to be. And these are players who have personal religious belief, and they don't want it to any other laws or rules in the game of football to counter it. So basically that's just what they did. The Senegalese pair, they made it abundantly clear to people that they respect their own brother, who also has his the brother also, his religious belief is one that he doesn't want to go against. And from there we're still sticking with the game in England, this time to the Championship, where Sheffield United captain Billy Sharp has branded the Nottingham Forest fan who had butchered him during a pitch invasion after the Championship semi-final playoff as a scumbag. Not by word, but the word of Sheffield United captain. The stocky supporter in yellow broke away from celebration to charge headfirst into Sharp, who was standing with his arms crossed in the technical area at the city's ground. Footage of the incident was captured live by international media, and C.A.C Sports was also on ground. That's Billy Sharp on the screen there for you to see, for those millions of our fans who are watching from all over the globe. And also, it's not a good development, but he being a man, a captain, he did it the right way he should have done. He was provoked, but he did not react like others would have reacted. And like I said, basically, it's going to be a dilly-dally thing and a development that in the coming days, the guy is going to be discovered. And if he's discovered, something or one or two things can be done. We'll take a minute break. When we come back, we'll stay hitting you with more mind-blowing stories from the ever-glamorous world of sports. And this time we're taking you to the fashion capital of Paris, which you know. And this time Angel Di Maria sorry, Angel Di Maria, the Argentine, he feels betrayed by Paris Saint-Germain not extending his contract. Not just extending his contract, but for not giving him a send-off after 7 years of brilliant, loyal service to the club. He just helped them regain the League On title. Not even as his contract is running out, not a send fourth party or nothing of that nature, and he feels betrayed that he's been forced to leave the club against his will. And from there we take you to Spain, where the Spanish police say they have arrested 5 Germans after entering France, many of whom were wearing so many other items, who were there trying to fight supporters of Rangers, Glasgow Rangers. And remember, the Europa final is going to be played in Spain, and the supporters, they're already at each other's jugular. And from them also, let's tell you, as you've seen on the screen, sorry, one of the players who's not going to play, Alfred Morelos, he's not going to play for that's talking about Glasgow Rangers because of injury, but he's already there supporting his team. And before we leave you, let's tell you that also one of the most beautiful news and stories coming out is that of the young African. And before the young African, let's tell you that Brian Landrop, a former player for Glasgow Rangers, has said that unflappable Dutchman, talking about Broncos, he has all to do and all that he can achieve for the Glasgow Radiants. That with him, they're going to win the Europa title, and they should also invest more. That's Landrop on your screen there. And also it's talking about the young coach, talking about Broncos, who's done tremendously, taking them to the final, almost 50 years since the last time they won something great. From there, we'll take you this time to Italy, where Binian Gimi pulls out of the Giro d'Italia after suffering bleeding to his eye when he was struck by an exploding champagne cork on the stadium. I'm talking about a young Eritrean cyclist who's done tremendously for himself. He is the man doing a whole lot of things there for himself, but amazingly, what they call freak accident couldn't let him continue with what he wanted to do. The guy set a very good record, and he became the first black African rider to win a stage of a Grand Tour when he beat Mathieu van der Poel in a reduced sprint on 10th stage of the Giro in Yesu. His celebration were kind of cut short, like I said earlier, though, when a cork exploded directly at his eye when he was trying to open a Prosecco bottle on the podium, coming after becoming the first black man winner. This is the most we can take on today's edition of your favorite sport program, Sport Update, coming to you from C.A.C. Television. I remain your host, the most Adams Ibrozano. And on behalf of my producer, who's done a great yeoman's job to make sure that the program comes to you scintillating, amazing, intoxicating, and thrilling. You've gotten all that you want to get. You could still get more, but you know, because of the brevity of time, we're always sticking to the time. So later in the week, we're still going to come with so many great episodes of the same program. As I leave you, God bless you. I remain your host, the most Adams Ibrozano.